Hey guys, today we are starting day 1 of lesson 5, and do you know what's exciting about this? This is actually our last lesson in unit 1. So after this lesson, we're diving into unit 2. Like, how exciting. I love moving on, right? So what you're going to need today, you're going to need your lesson book. We're going to be in page 38 and 39. I also want you to get your notebook and pencils, colored pencils, markers. You've seen me already. You know I like to do color and things like that. So if that suits you, go ahead and grab it. Go ahead and pause my video if you don't have these things already. Okay, you ready to go? All right, so what are we doing today? Today, we're going to use our knowledge from lesson 4, and we're actually going to be adding scientific notation. Some of it might be in standard, some of it might be in scientific, but we're actually going to be adding, and we're going to talk about how we're going to do it today. All right, so let's look at our first problem. Just like before, we're going to make sense of this problem. So when you look at it, I want you to try to figure out what I'm giving you, what I'm doing, what the answer is going to represent. Okay? All right, so first, we've got evaluate the following expression. Here's my expression. Okay, I'm going to read it again. Evaluate the following expression. So pause my video and write as many things as you can in your notebook that you notice and what you think we're doing today, what you think these numbers might be, and what's important. Pause my video. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see what you came up with. So did you pull out the word evaluate? And do you know what that word means? Sometimes, so throughout this unit, you've seen evaluate, you've seen simplify. Evaluate, we're going to solve it. So when we evaluated 3 squared, we got 9. We solved it. Back in lesson 1, when we simplified, we didn't actually find our actual answer, so we solved it. Okay, what else did you notice? Did anybody notice this plus sign right here? Good. I know it's obvious, but you know what? That's a big deal. Because if we're not paying attention, we might actually multiply or divide. Make sure we recognize that's multiply. Okay. Did anybody notice the parentheses? Good. Okay. And in the parentheses, what do you have? We've got multiply. We've also got this exponent. I left him there. I did not cover, like some of my students thought maybe I'd missed covering him up. No, I did that on purpose. Here's the reason. What do you think this number is right there? What do you think? How do you think this number is written? What form is this number written in? Did you say scientific notation? I wonder what gave that away, right? So let's think about this. If this one is written in scientific notation, then what do you think this one might be written in? Maybe standard? Okay. What? Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So what we're going to do, I want you to solve this problem. I want you to add them. So before I show you how to do it, I'm going to see if you can do it on your own without me. So I want you to pause your video, and I want you to, in your notebook, try your best to solve this problem. Okay, pause me, please, and solve. Three, two, one. Okay, let's see how you did. So there's more than one way to solve this, okay? We're going to work on one way. So what I want you to do, we're going to look at these numbers like this first. So what form is this number written in, this 950,000? What form is that written in? Did you say standard? Because you're right. Good. It's written in standard. It's all the way out. Okay. What form is that one written in? This one right here. Scientific. Okay. How do you know it's in scientific notation? Because it's multiplying by a power of 10 with an x, that's a power of 10. And then my exponent, my number is always a number that the number in front of the decimal has to be greater than 1 and less than 10. Good. Okay, you remember all this, right? You remember lesson 4. Good. So my next question, can I add them just like that? Some of you might have tried to add them like that. And I know we got some, and you're wondering, is this even right? Right? Okay, well, I can't add them like that. They're two totally different things. It's almost like adding feet and then adding meters. Feet and meters are different. They're still measuring distance, but they're not in the same, they're not written in the same form, okay? I can convert inches and feet. I can convert centimeters and meters. But in order to combine metric and US, we have to be able, so there's other steps. So these two, just like this two, we can't do them. We've got to make them the same. So we have to go through other steps. So let's go ahead and rewrite this form, rewrite this standard into scientific, okay? So, and this is a review from lesson 4, and I know you can do this, right? So where would my decimal go? Did you say between 9 and 5? Good. Okay, so let's see how many times. How many times I'm going to move my decimal, because that's going to tell me my exponent, which is how many times, how many place values I'm moving. It's not zeros. Remember, not about the zeros, but about place values. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I moved it 5 times. Okay, so now we're focusing here. Let's talk about why. So even though they're written the same, am I allowed to add them now? What do you notice? Did you notice these? Do you notice they're different? When you are taught to add and subtract fractions, what are you always taught about? Are you allowed to add and subtract fractions when my denominators are different? You're not. There's a lot of reason behind that, and it has to do with form and place value. So look at these exponents. They're different. We cannot add and subtract them because they're different, because my place value is not going to line up. Let's talk about what that might look like, shall we? Line up my decimals. What is she talking about? So I want you to take your notebook and I want you to turn it sideways. Do that for me. Okay, and we are going to add some big numbers. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started. So we've got this number, and he is already written in standard form. But you know what? This guy is not written in standard form. So let's convert him, okay? So what I want you to do, just to make sure you can do it, go ahead and pause my video and write this in standard form, and then we'll compare to see how we do. Okay, let's see how you did. So watch why I move my paper like this. I want to help you and fix you because when we have big numbers, I am the first one that's going to make mistakes where I'm not lining up my zeros because I've got so many of them. Guess what this is going to do? He's going to help me organize myself. So watch this. I'm going to start with my 4 and my 6, and I have to move my decimal how many times? Good. Did you say 7? Good. I'm moving it 7 times. Why? Because that's my exponent, and my exponent tells me how many place value I am moving, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm moving it 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's my 7, so my 6. And if I need to double check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always double check because I make mistakes often. Now look how each number has a happy little home. I do this because when we, on day 2, when we subtract our borrowing, I want to make sure we're lined up the right way so we have less chance to make mistakes. Okay, so now I'm going to take this number and I'm going to move him in. Did I do a good job? Please tell me you saw my mistake. Did you catch my mistake? Okay, so this is a very common mistake. Did anybody make this mistake at the beginning? It's very possible. And you know, it's very possible that some of you could have done 46 and added them, or 4.6 and added them and not converted them. So I'm hoping you're already starting to see little things that you're changing. We need to understand what place value is and the whole point of moving my decimal. When I moved this decimal, he ended up there, okay? And even if I take out my little decimal guy, I want you to be able to see how this works because my decimal ends up there, okay? When I have this decimal, he doesn't have a decimal, but your decimal is always behind that number. It's always behind your last whole number. The problem is in order to add or subtract, my decimals have to line up. They have to. Okay, if they don't, this is what we end up with. We end up with, let me change my pen back. We end up with adding 50 cents and $1, and we get 51 cents. Now, you know if I have $1.50, I have $1.50. But if I don't add up my decimals and line them up the right way, that's what I end up with. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. Okay. So now that we have them lined up, let's add them. Let's see how you did, those of you that did this. 9, 6, 4. How'd you do? Okay, so now that we have this, there is one more step I want you to do. You know what it is? I want you to convert it back to scientific notation. Pause my video and let's see how it works. Go. 3, 2, 1. Let's see how you did. Did you put your decimal right there? Now watch how awesome my lines are. Watch and just be amazed. It's amazing. Oh, it'd be even amazinger if I wrote them right. Yeah, amazinger. You heard that too, right? Okay, 4.695 times 10. How many times did I move my decimal? Check out your lines. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my gosh, am I blowing your mind right now? It's amazing. I know. It's so totally cool. Okay, so this is our answer. If you want to pause it, check it. You want to write these notes in your notebook, go for it, okay? Go ahead and pause my video and do that. Now, I want to see if any of you thought this way. Some of you might have done this. Well, you mentioned, Miss Villiher, that my exponents have to be the same. I did. So what happens if you made this with your exponents the same? Do we get the same answer? Let's try. So let's write this in scientific notation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9 times. And then, all right. So what happens when I go down? So let's see. So if I move my decimal one place to the left, do you know what that does to my exponent? I'm adding it, right? Right? Because I'm going more this way. Now my number is getting smaller. Do you know why? Look at these two numbers. Which number is bigger to begin with? Did you say this guy over here? Yeah. Why is this one bigger? Just by comparing these two right here, why is this one bigger? Because my exponent is bigger. Absolutely. So this is right. The more I move my decimal, these are changing, okay? And this becomes, because this is a smaller number. Okay, so now I do have my exponent are equal. So because my exponent is equal, what do I get to do to my numbers? I get to take listen to this vocabulary word, I get to take my rational numbers and add them. Rational numbers, that's lesson 3, right? So let's take our rational numbers, and what do we have to line up? Did you say decimal? Better have. I need to make sure we line up those decimals. And because I'm adding, okay, those zeros fill in because I need those zeros up there. Now let's go ahead and add 596.4 times. Did we get the same answer? Yeah, we did, because we rock and we're awesome. Absolutely. Okay. How do you feel, guys? You feeling good? Awesome. So let's look at this one. Let's see. Paul says that 3.14 times 10 to the 5th power plus 2.53 times 10 to the 4th power is equal to 5.67 times 10 to the 5th. Is Paul correct? So I want you to find out if Paul is correct, and I want you to explain why or why not. Pause my video. I want you to work it out and figure out what he did right or what he did wrong. Pause my video and work this out in your notebook. 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, what do you think? What do you think Paul did? Is he correct? I hope you said he's not correct. Now, let's talk about why not. What did Paul do? So what we're going to do, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to go to this. Oh, look, there it is. I'm going to go to this page. You know what we're going to do here? We're going to write them out, okay? Because I'll do this one. If I look at my exponents, are my exponents the same? They're not the same. So can I just straight up add these two numbers together? I can't, because they're not the same. My place value won't line up. So what are we going to do? Let's show our work on our handy dandy paper and see what I'm going to actually get, what I should actually get. So I'm going to start with my 3, 1, 4. And he's first, and I'm putting him on first. He's also the biggest. And we're going to move our decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Okay, so let's do this one. And I'm going to do him on the side. 2, 5, 3. And we're going to move our decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why did I move my decimal 4 times? Good. Okay, because of that exponent. All right, so now what do I get to do? You line them up, and we're going to add. So let's see how we did. You ready? 0, 0, 3, 9, 3, 3. How'd you do? Did you get it right? Awesome. Good. I'm so proud of you guys. Okay, so I want it written in scientific notation. Pause and write it in scientific notation. And go. All right, let's see how you did. This is what I love about my paper, because I can put my decimal right there, rewrite it, and then I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? Y'all are awesome. Okay, so let's look at these two. So this is what the answer should be. Did Paul get that? No, Paul didn't get that. Okay, Paul, let's see what you did wrong. So did Paul just straight up add his numbers? Let's see. 7, 6 point. Oh, that's silly, Paul. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that he just added these two numbers and he didn't do what we did and we converted it? Yes, I'm so proud of y'all. Okay, so This is today is adding. Tomorrow we're going to subtract. So join me tomorrow so we can go through our subtraction. And that way we can make sure you're borrowing and you're doing all your skills, but we're going to set it up and look at it the same way, okay? So until day 2, see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.